Welcome to the SEO.co Search Engine Optimization Podcast. Digital marketing essentials and next-level tactics. From off-site and on-site optimization to persuasive selling and everything in between. You'll learn actionable tips on what it takes to outright and outrank your competition.
Welcome back to the SEO.co podcast. Today, we're wrapping up the series, How to Generate, Manage, and Close Top-of-Funnel Leads, or TOFLs. We're going to start by talking how to qualify top-of-funnel leads. Qualifying leads can be difficult. While most businesses focus on closing prospects at the bottom of the funnel, qualifying at the top of the funnel is actually much more challenging. Because if you can accurately qualify, then your close rates are going to be fairly healthy regardless of the skill of the salesperson. It's also important to note that there are a few different types of qualified leads. Product qualified lead. It's easy to assume someone is a lead because they fit a certain criteria, or even for an individual to think they themselves are a lead when they don't actually need the product you're selling. Thus, you'll want to consider whether someone is in fact a product qualified lead. Next, marketing qualified lead. If someone is a product qualified lead, great, but they might not know it yet. These individuals need to be marketing qualified before they can convert. And lastly, sales qualified lead. Someone becomes a sales qualified lead when they make it all the way to the bottom of the funnel and they're ready or in a position to make a purchase. There are a few different ways to figure out if someone is qualified and which bucket they fall into. In some cases, you'll be able to qualify a lead by looking at one of these measurements. In other situations, you'll need to layer them all together to paint a clear picture of who is a lead and who's merely in a wrong place. 1. Analytics. In today's marketplace, there's an abundance of data tracking at every stage of the lead generation process. You can glean a lot of valuable information by studying the analytics. More specifically, you can learn from metrics like type of action. Not all leads are created equal, hence the need to qualify. Consider assigning values to different actions that leads take, which allows you to measure which ones are most likely to become viable prospects. If you're using a scale of 1, small action, to 5, significant action, downloading a free white paper would be considered a 1. Downloading a product demo may be considered a 3, and requesting to speak with someone on your team may be considered a 5. You can learn from metrics like email open rates. If you have a good email platform or CRM solution, it's easy to create lead profiles and study how they interact with your content. Pay particularly close attention to who is opening your emails and how often. If you've sent 20 emails to someone over the past month and they've only opened 1, they're probably not interested. But if someone's opened 15 of the emails and has taken action on 10 of them, something is drawing them in. And lastly, you can learn from metrics like conversion rates. When you send out a call to action, either via social media or email, who's responding? If someone consistently takes action, this means they're converting. And as they move through the value ladder, gradually converting on higher offers, they become a much more qualified lead. The metrics that matter most to you and your funnel will depend on the strategies you're using. But if you have data on these metrics, we'd recommend beginning here. If nothing else, it helps show who's engaged and who's tuned out. 2. Conversations. The best way to qualify a lead is to have a conversation with them. This can happen via Facebook Messenger, email, phone, Zoom, or any other number of mediums and platforms. In these conversations, ask leading questions that gauge their pain points, needs, expectations, and desires. Based on this information, you can determine whether you have the products and solutions to serve them. If you do, they're a qualified lead. If you don't, you might recommend other options. And 3, gut feeling. There are a lot of data geeks who may disagree with this, but if you've been in business long enough, you eventually reach a point where you can feel out who is a viable lead and who isn't. You shouldn't base all of your decisions on gut feelings, but it's a good way to qualify a lead after you've considered the data and metrics. When probing your gut, ask yourself this question: does this person feel like they're worth my time? If the answer is yes, push them through the funnel. If the answer is no, you can continue to nurture them, but shouldn't feel the pressure to speed things along. Content's usually the thing that gets people into the top of the funnel. And if you're looking for a way to create better quality content and drive awareness for your brand, link building is a great way to start. For more information on white hat link building services, which are trusted by thousands of companies around the world, please reach out to SEO.co. We'd be happy to discuss our scalable options in more detail. Thanks again for listening to the SEO.co podcast, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Thank you for joining us on the SEO.co podcast. We appreciate your time. Be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show and visit SEO.co for more resources based on today's topic, as well as access to more podcast episodes to help you improve your site's long-term SEO success.